Something, and I may be picking up the wrong nuance, but something in the way you talk about it is almost as if you talk about it as if you have to discipline yourself to not become sentimental or nostalgic.
Yes, that can crush you.
I take this much, I won't, that's it, part. So that is, that's a conscious sort of discipline.
Yeah, you have to, because if you look at the literature conventionally, for instance, let's look at Homer, okay, Odysseus, that's the archimodel of archetypal model of exile, right? He returned, this glorious return, he reunited with Penelope, regained Ithaca, his kingdom. But there's another story. Once he settled down, he couldn't stay. He wanted to go away. In fact, that's the other part. He didn't stay. He wandered away with a group of older men, his former soldiers. Everybody died. Everybody was basically perished in the uncharted ocean. And the problem with that episode, that tells us those kind of persons, once they left, they are exiled, they can't come back. And the home is no longer its place. In fact, there was a very interesting episode. He landed at Ithaca, and when he woke up, he was shocked by his homeland. He couldn't recognize it, right? And he couldn't live in it. But what happened is he was driven by his own wanderlust. He became destructive. He became irresponsible. He abandoned his kingdom, his household, his wife, and his son, and he left with his soldiers, and everybody got killed, including himself. So I think this is what we have to modify. We have to be moderate. We have to really don't go to the extreme. On one hand, on the other hand, we should be aware once you were left, you can never come back. The place will change, you will change.
What's interesting to me about that, and the thing that when I think about a few years down by Karachi and I may be more distant from each other, is I do think in terms of what would that mean for my ability to write about the place. I don't want to be one of those people who sits somewhere else and is sort of writing a Karachi of today, which is based on my memory of what Karachi was 5 years ago, and so really, it's as a writer that I'm most interested in this question of, will I have to stop writing about that contemporary city because I no longer know what it is to be in it, and it strikes me quite aside from the kitchen knives, which are the most important thing. It was while working on Burnt Shadows that I made this decision to be in London. It's the first of my books which isn't set entirely in Pakistan. I don't think that's... I think sometimes I had to tell myself I can write about other places. I can write about a place I'm not in. And somehow that decision, that realization I think was quite important to the decision of feeling I can go and live in London. And I was wondering what your relationship is to writing about London.
It's not so much a question of the actual subject matter. Oh, can I write about London or New York anymore? My issue is American English versus English.
Right.
And it's sort of a joke, and it's also very serious, and I'm in a tears about it all the time. I joked about my daughters teasing me about saying bar. But actually, I have reached a pitch of self-consciousness about language and how I pronounce things, both in my writing and in spoken conversation. I think, do I dare to say tomato or tomato? One sounds as if I'm sort of clinging ludicrously to a kind of archaic former self that was English, and the other sounds sort of affected. Tomato. Yeah. Could I have the tomato sauce? When you translate this into writing fiction, this article is particularly complicated because I was writing about Americans, but there were some English people in it. Sometimes, a person who'd been living in America a very long time would have an English memory, Did I say curb or pavement? Did I say bath or gas? It was very complicated. I don't know the solution.
And I have a friend who was from England for many years ago, maybe 40, 50 years ago. She still has big struggle, especially in dialogue, in presenting American characters. The American idiom and English idiom somehow they interfere with each other.
Yeah.
So that's a technical, also for other immigrants as well.
Yeah.
A technical basically is a fundamental technical challenge how to present different kinds of English sheets on the same page without confusion.
Yeah.
That's very hard.
Yes.
Very hard.